And hello, everyone. I'm Rowanna Doe, co-founder and CEO of Fardo Software Limited, and we're trading as BlockFrauds. Now, insurance fraud is a massive issue, estimated at over $300 billion a year. And it doesn't just affect some faceless companies. It means higher premiums that we customers have to pay. And we're the lucky ones as well, because it means billions of the most vulnerable people worldwide simply can't afford the protections they provide. Now, insurers are already spending over $3 billion a year on software to detect fraud, and it's growing rapidly, but there are still unmet needs. So why is it so hard? Well, there are loads of reasons. For a start, there are loads of different types of fraud, and the sheer range and scale of data it can be hidden in now. And it would be so much easier if insurers could share information about both frauds and fraudsters, but they're tightly regulated, like with GDPR here in Europe. And of course, they don't want to go sharing all their sensitive customer details with their competitors. And then there's who they're up against as well, because the fraudsters are very tech savvy and agile. They can move much faster than insurers, and they know them inside out. So we're focusing on three main aspects here: better detection of fraud, compliance sharing, and advanced technology that evolves with the fraudsters. We apply cutting-edge technologies, including AI and our proprietary algorithms. Our advanced image analytics, they can tell if a picture is being used elsewhere or manipulated, and that includes identity document changes. Now, our advanced speech analytics can detect signs of fraud and also known fraudsters and deep fakes. And we do this with passive authentication, so the customers don't have to be bothered sort of setting up a voice profile. It just happens as they speak. And these generate a claim credibility score together, so the claims handler knows which ones to prioritize for review. But the processing has also anonymized the intelligence, so then it can be seamlessly and compliantly shared. Now, I'm using a private permission blockchain to share, and this is for three key reasons here. So first, the insurers retain control over the intelligence in their private node, and that is really important for their compliance. Second, only trusted network participants can contribute intelligence and train the model, and that really helps maintain its integrity. And then thirdly, I'm using federated learning for the analytics. Now, this was specially designed to train across multiple decentralized edge devices where you don't have to exchange the data samples or centralize the data. And it was created specifically to address critical issues around data privacy. So here, the blockchain and the federated learning actually enables this seamless collaboration whilst meeting the critical sort of data protection and compliance requirements. And best of all, it acts as a fraud bureau. So you can better spot known fraudsters or deep fakes or fraudster characteristics, and you can spot multiple claims with voice or images, really. And there's also a network effect. So the federated learning does it faster and wider across all of this intelligence for everyone. And that helps it keep pace with the fraudsters as they evolve. And it never forgets. And this gives a better informed score back to the claims handler, and all participants get an updated algorithm for that better sort of initial flag. Now, our solution will benefit insurers worldwide, but also insurtechs whose solutions involve voice or image processing, and they'll benefit from the fraud bureau aspect. We're already having talks in that area. And as well as direct access, you can access our solution via platforms such as Claim Technology or as a plugin for other solutions. We ran a pilot of our MVP with Claim Technology. They've got a gateway platform, and we're now expanding our trials. So do get in touch if you'd like to take part in those. Now, our USP is really the federated learning enabled by the private blockchain. That helps insurers collaborate so seamlessly and compliantly, which is key for efficiency. There are already databases of claims and fraudsters, but they're much more limited, far less seamless. And they're also easily cheated, just by using a different name, a fake name or something. Some are starting to enhance this sharing, but it's often limited by starting from that limited public information. There are speech analyzers and image analyzers already, again, far less collaborative and seamless. And also all the data that can be deleted under rights to be forgotten, speech or image, it just gets lost to this collaboration, or if an insurer leaves a database. but our AI and our fraud bureau keeps that anonymized learning forever. So we've got some great feedback already. 2 investors, Outlier and CV. We were runners-up in R3's Quarter InsurTech Challenge 2020, and we're one of just 6 companies that was selected by the European Commission's Block Start programme for its final pilot phase, and we got great feedback from their experts. We've got a B2B SaaS business model. There are benefits from standalone use, especially for the larger customers, as well as from the collaborative fraud bureau. Pricing evolves from free use initially, while we see the data train the model in these trials, but then likely evolving through cents per use as it gets established, to licenses and ultimately value sharing and other revenue models. We've got associated services from the outset, loads of other functionality planned. And of course, it's perfectly placed to support use in the metaverse with all the speech and image analytics. And many of the functions can also benefit other industries such as insurance or anywhere, or finance rather, sorry, or anywhere where identity is important. We've got a detailed agile roadmap supported by a detailed financial plan. So I'm actually a chartered accountant by training, over 20 years FTSE experience, FTSE 100 experience in business development, mergers and acquisitions, general management. So believe me, I can do the detail as well as the strategy. And we have a phased agile business model with a typical funding profile. We're going to update our model and next funding ask after these current trials. Current plan has assumed a 2.5 million raise, but if demand is there, then we might call for more to accelerate expansion. And we know where the spend is required. So there's technical development and support. That includes access to commercial libraries, support from language and other fraud experts internationally, all the marketing, business development, client success, regulatory requirement, always far more admin than you'd ever want or need or expect. So we know what needs doing. Started up with CTO and head of innovation at Hiscox, a major UK insurer, over 25 years experience in finance and insurance. I've got really complementary business experience. We've got a strong team and network ready to scale with the plan, including the tech and commercial partners we're working with. So if you would like to join our fight against fraud or hear any more, then please do get in touch. Thank you.
Thanks for that. We'll move into the Q&A now.
Thanks for your pitch, Juana. This was almost more like a sales pitch. I quite enjoyed the narration style. I got a couple of questions. So maybe first one, like, what is the core problem that you're trying to solve here? Is it, or like not just that you try to solve, but that exists in terms of insurance fraud? Is it that the insurances don't communicate enough among each other in terms of like frauds that have been reached, like handed in or claimed for several insurances at the same time? Or is it more that the identity of the claims that are made are often fraudulent, like from a priority standpoint?
Yeah, it's a lot of them, to be honest, and that's one of the joys. There are so many problems that our core solution can solve. The first one that was flagged to us was through the Quarter Challenge 2020, which is around enabling collaboration in claims. Because, for example, if I have a claim I want to make on my house, maybe my car's been stolen or something, I can call Allianz and make a claim or something, but I could then call Aviva and they may not know. There's only this limited public information available. And by the time someone's tagged me as a fraudster, they won't necessarily be able to share that very quickly. So it's the timeliness of sharing, and it's when you can tag a known fraudster, and then everybody on the network already knows, okay, they're a known fraudster. And also the image sharing, very seamless, very timely. It's that seamless collaborative and compliant sharing that's key. And it's all in a context, since COVID, insurers have become far more digital, and the customers of the insurers are also far more digital. They want an online experience, they want it seamless, and there's a thing, straight through processing. So you want something that's digitally engaged here in the ecosystem. So when the information is provided, it can very quickly be flagged up as a problem, or no, we can't see a problem. This isn't a known fraudster. There isn't somebody else that sounds like this person making a claim at the same time. You can go straight through, no flags. So really, a lot of it is around this seamless, compliant collaboration. But there's also, how do you spot the fraudsters in the first place? How do you spot the deep fakes? How do you spot that a driving license has been manipulated? And that's our initial solution. And we're trying to be really connected as well. So, for example, there's a company which tags, they have an app that takes a picture and it tags the geodata, the time and the location. Does that match with the details of the claim? And we don't do that, certainly not at the moment, but we could incorporate their score into our algorithm. So again, it can flag up in our score and help just with this seamless, quick processing.
This is a B2B product, I assume, right? So you have to sell the product mostly to insurances from like across all the verticals that exist from the conversations that you had so far, like which industry vertical of insurance cases specifically seems to be having this problem like the most? Which one is the most approachable from your conversations so far when it comes to your go-to-market strategy in the coming month?
Yeah. Well, there are two areas where it's particularly attractive. One is the high volume, low value stuff where you just want to skim things through, if it's, £500 for a laptop, something like that, £1,000 for a carding. You don't want to spend insurers don't want to spend a lot of money investigating each one. So this can really help with the efficient processing of claims for those high volume, low value claims. But then the sheer scale, a lot of the value is actually in the life and health, particularly in the healthcare side of things, people pretending they're injured when they're not, people inflating claims. That's where our speech analytics can detect, is there a problem? Do they sound like they're lying or are they a known fraudster? So that's the value. But our initial go-to-market actually has been because I don't know if you've worked with insurance much at all, but they have major processes to go through. They're not necessarily the quickest workers. So our go-to-market is starting actually with insurtechs who work in the sort of claims and fraud space, much more nimble, much more agile, partnering with those where our fraud bureau can complement the other solutions they offer. And we're in talks with several there.